dancing among clarity, inquiry, mystery with three dots, these significant three dots. Clarity is vital in the midst of chaos, confusion, and misdirection. Inquiry is vital to evolve beyond incomplete knowledge. Recognition of omnipresent mystery is vital for humility, the source of all truly new realization. So treasure all three for their complementary gifts and don't let them get in each other's way. Okay. This is really interesting. It is, at its heart, it's about learning and its associated flexibility. It's about growth, discovery, education. The whole practice of science is fundamentally about this. And part of what is tricky is each one of these is compelling in itself, and unless you hold them all, they aren't clearly linked to each other. You know, clarity is associated with the emotion of certainty. Certainty is an emotion. It's not really a cognitive state. Clarity, you go, oh, this is what's going on. This is what it means. This is how it hangs together. Huh. And that connects to your experience or to your previous knowledge in a way that's very compelling and useful for you for whatever reasons you want to use it. So particularly when, as the pattern heart says, there's chaos, confusion, or misdirection, it's really useful to get clear on things. And what clarity and certainty don't tell you is what you're missing. They act as if they're the whole. You go, aha, and your cognitive system relaxes. You don't have to do any more work. You've arrived. You know, and part of the worldview, the cognitive and personal lived attitude that is in the Wise Democracy paradigm, pattern language, is that you don't settle. You don't settle down in any of these. So there's chaos, confusion, and misdirection. Misdirection, often chaos, confusion. These things can just be there, or they're consciously manipulated at a mass level or an interpersonal level. So it's really good to name, this is what's going on, and to feel, have a place to stand. But if you get stuck there, you got problems. And often a scientific hypothesis will come from an intuitive sense. This is what's going on. This is how this works. Now, because I'm in science, I need to test it. I need to see how it works in real life. So now I have to design my experiment or whatever to do that. And that's an inquiry. An experiment is an inquiry. And not only is the experiment going to happen, I'm going to be reporting on it, and other people are going to look at it, try to replicate it, try to critique it, try to falsify it. Such a great word in science. It's all fine and good to appreciate it, but we're here to see if we can find a hole in it. So the inquiry is there to punch holes in clarity and move to a different level of clarity. Very often there's a dance between inquiry and clarity where you find the holes in your previous clarity or somebody else's previous clarity, their beliefs, their worldview, their sense of things. But there's something that doesn't feel right about it to you, and you do your inquiry, whether that's asking questions, talking to friends, consulting the internet, doing a scientific experiment, whatever. You are checking it out, and you come up with You may come up with more chaos and confusion, or you may come up with a new clarity. So that's the dance between those two. And it says in the pattern, inquiry is vital to evolve beyond incomplete knowledge. All knowledge is incomplete. There is no complete knowledge. There is no, what did somebody say? There's no accurate model of the universe except the universe itself. There's just too many nuances, details, dynamics, whatever. And that's true of every situation. Whatever we understand about it is incomplete. And in Wise Democracy and any effort at wisdom, we're dancing with that fact, trying to be as complete as we can in the ways that are relevant to long-term broad benefit. That's the bottom line in this pattern language. Then there's the mystery. The mystery contains uncertainty, but it's bigger than uncertainty. You can actually be certain about mystery. There are things that are unknowable almost by definition. I mean, there's philosophers who have wrestled with all this. And the whole question of what is reality, when you start delving into it deeper and deeper and deeper, as some philosophers are doing, and as quantum physicists do, it becomes harder and harder to nail down this thing that is absolutely real. There's no agreement, there's no multiple perspectives, it's just there. And the closer you look, the less that is true. So it's a very interesting dynamic that goes on in terms of reality. And the more you acknowledge mystery, either things are unknowable or I don't know them now, or I know that there's more to it, that whatever it is I think I know, or whatever it is that I'm exploring, there's more to it than that. That assumption is very, very beneficial and useful. Whatever you think you know, and to talk about, I think I know this rather than I know this, to be able to think in those terms and welcome the relativity that ultimate mystery gives you. And dance with that in the background, but you can continue to do the dance between inquiry and clarity while understanding that mystery is there. And every now and then it moves into the foreground and you go, wow, I'm really not getting this at all and I'm not sure how to proceed. And being able to be with that and know that you will be able to dance further and further into the mystery. The more you, as some people have said, the more you know you don't know. It's like a bubble of light in a sea of darkness. And the bigger the bubble of light grows, the more surface area there is with the darkness. And so you learn to be humble and exploratory. And that's basically the essence of this. The dynamics of spiritual, psychological, and developmental growth are in the heart of this. Scientific exploration and discovery is in the heart of this. Healthy education is in the heart of this. And being aware of the delights and traps of each of these modes, how they fit together, and how if you get stuck in any one of them, you lose fluidity, you lose functionality, and ultimately you lose whatever wisdom is possible in this situation.